Your future is built on what you do today, not what you hope for tomorrow. Every person has dreams and goals, but most give up before they see results. They stop because progress is slow or because no one is watching or applauding. Success does not come to those who wait or complain. It comes to those who take control, commit fully, and push forward consistently. Discipline, focus, and action matter more than luck or talent. The most powerful people in the world are not the loudest or not the most talented. They are the ones who keep showing up, working hard, and never quitting. Today is about shifting your mindset to unstoppable consistency. It's about forcing yourself to rise, to act, and to stay committed no matter what. Your results will speak, but first you must act without excuses and without waiting for recognition. The journey to greatness begins not with motivation, but with a relentless decision to continue even when it's hard. Every minute you waste doubting or quitting is a minute you will never get back. Today is the day to claim your power, take control of your actions, and force yourself to stay consistent. Outline 1. Build strong habits that lead your mind toward wealth. Your life will only change when your habits change. That's the truth most people don't want to hear. People think they need luck, connections, or talent to become rich, but they don't. What they need is a new way of thinking, and that new way begins with habits. Wealth starts in the mind long before it shows up in your bank account, because the habits you repeat every single day either push you towards success or quietly keep you broke. The way you wake up, the way you spend your hours, the things you say to yourself, they all shape the life you live. A millionaire doesn't think in terms of luck. He thinks in terms of habits. He knows that small disciplines done daily create big results over time. You can't wish for wealth while living with the habits of comfort. You can't say you want success, but wake up late, complain about your job, or waste your evenings scrolling through other people's lives. You either choose habits that build your dream or habits that destroy it. Every day, your habits are casting the vote for the person you'll become. If you want to think like a millionaire, you must live like someone preparing for greatness. That means being intentional. It means asking yourself every morning, what habits am I repeating that keep me stuck? It might be procrastination. It might be fear. It might be surrounding yourself with people who think small. Millionaire thinking starts when you stop living on autopilot and start taking responsibility for your daily choices. The truth is, wealth isn't a secret. It's discipline in disguise. It's what you do when no one's watching. Most people think millionaires work for money, but they don't. They work for freedom. They build habits that make money work for them. They focus on learning, saving, investing, creating, not spending, showing off, or comparing. That's the difference. Mindset builds, the other destroys. If you change your habits, you change your future, but you have to do it on purpose. You can't wait until life forces you to grow. You have to decide that average living is not enough for you. You have to wake up earlier, think deeper, plan smarter, and act faster. Millionaires live with urgency. They know that every wasted day is a lost opportunity. They treat their time like money because it is, once it's gone, it doesn't come back. Start small. Don't try to rebuild your whole life overnight. Start with one new habit that brings value to your day. Read a few pages of a book that teaches you something useful. Track your spending. Exercise your discipline. Protect your focus. And when you master one habit, build another. Consistency builds confidence. Confidence builds momentum, and momentum builds results. The people who rise in life aren't smarter than you. They're simply more consistent. They make fewer excuses. They do what others don't feel like doing. They don't talk about what they'll do. They do it. They understand that the future belongs to those who prepare for it. and preparation is built through habits. Every action you take is a seed. Plant enough good seeds and the harvest is guaranteed. You have to ask yourself, what kind of future are my current habits creating for me? Because your habits are not just routines, they are quiet predictions of your destiny. Millionaires live differently because they think differently. They know success is built daily, not someday. So while others waste time, they invest it. While others spend money to look rich, they spend time learning how to become rich. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you're training your mind to think like a millionaire. You're building the kind of mental toughness that separates the dreamers from the doers. Because at the end of the day, wealth isn't about how much money you have, it's about how much control you have over your thoughts, habits, and decisions. When you master that, the money will follow naturally. So start now. Build the habits that shape your mind for wealth. Don't wait for a new year, a better job, or the perfect moment. The perfect time doesn't exist. Only consistent effort does. Every habit you practice today becomes the foundation of your future. Stop waiting for change and start creating it. That's how millionaires think, and that's how they win. Outline. 2. Take full control of your thoughts and daily actions. Your thoughts are the roots of everything you'll ever become. If your thinking is weak, your results will always be weak. You can't think small and live big. You can't think like a victim and expect to live like a winner. The first step to thinking like a millionaire is taking full control of your thoughts. Because your thoughts shape your choices, and your choices shape your life. Every decision, every reaction, every opportunity you miss or create, it all starts in your mind. Most people spend their lives reacting to the world around them. But the people who rise above average are the ones who decide what to think, how to feel, and where to direct their energy every single day. Taking control of your thoughts means becoming aware of what's going on inside your head. Most people have no idea how much noise lives there. Doubt, fear, anger, distraction. They let it all run freely. A millionaire mind doesn't allow that. It filters every thought through discipline. It asks, does this thought serve me? Or does it hold me back? You can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you think about it. And that difference, my friend, is the foundation of success. Because the moment you control your mind, nothing outside can control you. Millionaires don't wake up hoping for a good day. They build one. They start the morning by feeding their mind the right information. They plan, they visualize. They take time to think, not just to react. They understand that their mind is a tool. And tools must be used with precision. If you wake up and let your phone, your notifications, or other people's opinions guide your thinking, you've already lost the day. You've handed control to the world. A millionaire mindset means starting your day by deciding what matters, what doesn't, and what you're going to build. Most people think controlling thoughts is some complicated science. It isn't. It's about awareness and repetition. If you constantly think about what's missing, you'll keep creating more lack. But if you train your thoughts toward growth, reading, learning, building, improving, you'll start creating progress automatically. The mind follows the pattern you set for it. If you focus on problems, you'll always have more problems. If you focus on solutions, you'll start seeing opportunities. That's how millionaires think. They're not naive. They're disciplined. They know that where focus goes, energy flows. You can't afford to live distracted. Every time you let your mind wander into negativity, you lose energy that could have built your dream. Think about it. How many hours are wasted thinking about what other people said, what didn't work, or what could go wrong? Successful people don't entertain those thoughts for long. They catch them early and replace them with something useful. They say, what can I do right now? What's the next step forward? They think strategically not emotionally. That's why their results are consistent while others keep starting over. Taking control of your thoughts also means taking control of your emotions, because your emotions influence your decisions more than logic ever will. Millionaire thinking isn't about never feeling fear or doubt. It's about feeling them and acting anyway. It's about saying, I know I'm nervous, but I'm still going to make that call. I know I'm uncertain, but I'm still going to try. You'll never outgrow fear. You just learn to master it. People who wait to feel ready never move. People who act despite fear, they grow, they build confidence, and eventually they win. You also have to guard your environment because your thoughts are shaped by what you expose yourself to. If you spend time around negative people, your thinking will become negative. If you fill your mind with noise, gossip, and distraction, you'll never have the clarity to grow. Millionaires are careful about who and what they allow into their space. They read books that stretch their minds. They listen to people who challenge their limits. They invest in environments that force them to level up, because they know you can't think like a millionaire while living in an environment that encourages mediocrity. Thinking like a millionaire means understanding that your thoughts are investments. Every thought you think is either building your wealth or wasting your potential. So you have to ask yourself daily, am I thinking thoughts that move me forward or hold me back? Am I thinking like a builder or a complainer? Am I thinking like someone who's creating value or like someone waiting to be rescued? Because your thoughts decide your direction long before your actions do. Once you begin to think with intention, your actions will naturally follow. You'll notice yourself making better choices, setting higher standards, and refusing to waste time. You'll no longer chase distractions because your mind will be clear about what matters. Millionaires don't work harder because they're forced to. They work harder because their mind has a purpose. When your thoughts are aligned with your goals, consistency becomes natural. You won't need motivation. You'll have momentum. And here's the truth. Your future is not written yet. It's waiting on your next decision, your next thought, your next hour of focus. If you control your thoughts, you control your destiny. That's how you think like a millionaire. It's not about luck. It's not about being born in the right place. And it's not about waiting for a break. It's about mastering your mind, one thought at a time, one decision at a time, until your mindset becomes unshakable. Because when your thoughts are strong, your life will follow. Outline 3, train your mind to focus on growth, not comfort. Most people never reach their full potential because they spend their lives chasing comfort instead of growth. The mind naturally wants comfort. It wants the easy path, the safe path, the familiar path. But every time you choose comfort, you pay for it with your progress. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you stretch your limits, when you do what you don't feel like doing, when you go through the days that test your patience and your willpower. Millionaire thinking begins when you stop asking, how can I make this easier? And start asking, how can I make myself stronger? Comfort is seductive because it feels good right now, but that same comfort quietly steals your dreams over time. The moment you skip a hard task, the moment you choose distraction over discipline, the moment you delay what you know you should do, comfort wins and growth loses. Millionaires think differently. They've trained their minds to look past the short-term feelings and focus on the long-term rewards. They say, this may not feel good now, but it will make me better later. That's how they grow faster than everyone else. They think like builders, not escape artists. If you want to build a millionaire mind, you have to make peace with discomfort. So you must learn to see it not as pain, but as progress. Every hard thing you do, every moment of resistance you face, every situation that forces you to adapt, that's your training ground. That's where growth lives. You'll notice that successful people don't complain about hard days. They embrace them because they know those days are shaping their mind into something tougher, sharper, more capable. Growth doesn't destroy you. It introduces you to the next version of yourself. The truth is, most people give up too early because they confuse discomfort with failure. They think if it's hard, it must mean it's not working. But the reality is the opposite. If it's hard, it means it's working. Growth always feels uncomfortable at first because your brain is adjusting to a higher level of effort and focus. But if you can push through that phase, if you can stay with the process long enough, it becomes your new normal. What used to feel impossible starts feeling natural. That's how you transform your habits, your mindset, and your results. To think like a millionaire, you have to reprogram your response to challenge. When most people face resistance, they stop. But a millionaire sees resistance as a signal to go harder. They've trained their mind to say, this is where most people quit, so this is where I win. They don't look for easy days. They look for days that make them better. They're not interested in proving they can do easy things. So, they're interested in proving they can do hard things consistently. That's how they separate themselves from the average. Your mind becomes what you feed it. If you feed it comfort, it will crave comfort. If you feed it challenge, it will crave growth. The goal is to make progress addictive. You should feel uneasy when you're not improving. That's the level of conditioning it takes to succeed at the highest level. Because the truth is, consistency feels uncomfortable at first, but it becomes freedom later. Comfort feels good now, but it becomes regret later. You have to decide which pain you're willing to live. With the pain of discipline or the pain of disappointment, one reason people stay stuck is that they make decisions based on emotion instead of vision. They work hard only when they feel inspired, but growth doesn't wait for your emotions to align. It requires you to act even when you're tired, unsure, or unmotivated. Millionaire thinkers don't rely on moods. They rely on standards. They know emotions are temporary, but standards are permanent. You can't control how you feel every day, but you can control what you do regardless of how you feel. But that's what separates success from stagnation. Another key to training your mind for growth is setting challenges that push you beyond what's comfortable. Most people stop when something becomes slightly hard, but millionaires create situations that demand their best. They commit publicly, set deadlines, and track results. They give themselves no escape route. Why? Because they understand that pressure creates clarity. When you're all in, your mind finds a way. Growth happens when there's no easy exit. When you've decided that quitting is no longer an option. The more you train your mind to grow, the less you'll depend on motivation. You'll stop waiting for the right time because you'll realize the right time is always now. You'll stop running from challenges because you'll realize they're your greatest teachers. You'll stop wishing for an easier life and start working to become a stronger person. That shift from seeking comfort to seeking growth is what turns average people into extraordinary achievers. It's the mindset that builds wealth, strength, and self-respect. So remember, comfort is the slow death of potential. It whispers to you, telling you to relax, take it easy, slow down. But every time you listen, you drift further from the person you could become. Growth, on the other hand, demands effort. It tests you, but it also rewards you with strength, confidence, and freedom. The question is, which one are you training your mind to follow? The choice you make every day between comfort and growth will decide whether you just survive or truly succeed. Outline 4, learn from people who already live the life you want. If you want to think like a millionaire, start by learning from those who've already walked that road. There's no faster way to grow than by studying the people who have done what you want to do. Success leaves clues patterns, habits, and decisions that anyone can follow if they're willing to pay attention. You don't need to reinvent success. You just need to model it. The problem is, most people would rather envy successful people than learn from them. They see someone winning, and instead of asking, "What can I learn?" they say, "They're lucky." But luck is never the reason. Discipline, vision, and consistency always are. A millionaire doesn't think like the average person. They make different choices. They see time differently. They invest energy differently. They surround themselves with people who challenge them to rise, not people who comfort them in weakness. And that's where most people fall behind. They surround themselves with people who keep them comfortable, not with people who push them forward. But if you want to change your life, you need to change your environment. You can't think like a millionaire while listening to people who gave up on their dreams. You've got to study the mindset of the people living the life you want. Watch how they talk. Notice how they plan. Observe how they react to problems. When they fail, they don't make excuses. They adjust. When something doesn't work, they don't quit. They improve. They look for solutions, not sympathy. That's the difference between those who stay stuck and those who grow rich. The mindset of learning instead of complaining. If you get around winners long enough, you'll stop thinking like a loser. It's that simple. You start absorbing their confidence, their hunger, their discipline. You stop making excuses because the people around you don't tolerate excuses. You start expecting more from yourself because the standard around you is higher. That's how growth happens, not overnight, but through consistent exposure to people who've mastered what you're still learning. The truth is, every successful person you admire once stood where you stand right now, uncertain, scared, unsure if they'd ever make it, but they decided to learn instead of doubt. They decided to follow people who had results instead of opinions. They stopped taking advice from broke minds about rich living. That's the shift you must make too. Listen to the ones who've done it, not the ones who only talk about it. So find mentors, real ones, not the ones who just talk motivation, but the ones who live it daily. Study how they think, how they move, how they structure their time. Read their books, watch their interviews. Observe their discipline. You don't have to meet them in person to learn from them. Their words, their actions, and their habits are all open books if you care enough to study them. If you want to earn what millionaires earn, you have to think how millionaires think. And thinking like a millionaire doesn't mean dreaming about cars or money. It means developing the mindset of value, growth, and service. Millionaires don't chase wealth. They create value so big that wealth chases them. They look for ways to serve more people, solve bigger problems, and improve every day. So stop trying to figure everything out by yourself. The road is already built. The blueprint is already written. Your job is to study it, walk it, and add your own flavor to it. Learn from those who've succeeded, not to copy them, but to understand the principles behind their success. Because once you understand why they do what they do, you can adapt it to your own journey. Millionaire thinking isn't about money, it's about mentality. It's about raising your standards, surrounding yourself with the right people, and learning from those who've done it right. And if you keep learning, keep adjusting, and keep growing, one day you'll realize you've become the person others are now studying. Outline 5. Turn every failure into a lesson that grows your strength. Failure is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of real growth. The problem is most people treat failure like a dead end, when in reality, it's just a redirection. Every person who has achieved something great has failed, not once, but countless times. The difference is how they responded. They didn't let failure define them, they let it teach them. They didn't fall apart when things went wrong. They studied why it went wrong and came back stronger. That's how you build the mind of a millionaire. Not by avoiding failure, but by transforming it into your greatest teacher. When you think like an average person, failure feels like proof that you're not good enough. But when you think like a millionaire, failure becomes feedback. It's not a reason to quit, it's a lesson in disguise. Every time something breaks, it shows you what needs fixing. Every time something fails, it points to what you didn't yet master. That's the beauty of life. The lessons you need most often come through discomfort. You grow through what challenges you, not through what makes you comfortable. Most people quit the moment they feel pain, but the people who make it, the ones who rise to the top, are the ones who push through the pain and ask the right question. What is this trying to teach me? That single question can change your life. It shifts your focus from frustration to growth. It turns loss into learning. It takes you from victim to student, and every student eventually becomes a master. Think of every failure as a workout for your character. Every setback builds emotional muscle. Every rejection strengthens your patience. Decision-making sharper. The key is to stop taking failure personally and start taking it as preparation. Life doesn't punish you with failure. It prepares you with it. It's teaching you how to stay calm under pressure, how to make better choices, and how to stay consistent when things get tough. The truth is, people who never fail are people who never try anything real. Playing it safe might protect your ego, but it kills your potential. Millionaires don't fear failure because they understand that mistakes are the price of mastery. They'd rather fail 100 times chasing a vision than live once in regret doing nothing. And that's what separates winners from everyone else. They keep showing up even when it hurts. Every time you fall and get back up, you're building something far more valuable than success. You're building strength. You're building mental toughness. You're building the kind of resilience that money can't buy. That's what prepares you for the next level. Because when opportunity comes, it doesn't wait for you to get ready. It rewards the one who stayed ready. And failure is what prepares you for that moment. So stop seeing failure as something to avoid. Start seeing it as the only real teacher that tells you the truth. Success often lies hidden behind 1,000 small failures that most people run from. But if you can learn to stay in the process, if you can handle the embarrassment, the uncertainty, the disappointment, you'll discover that every failure was building something inside you that no easy victory ever could. Remember, every failure carries a lesson, and every lesson carries a reward. But you only receive it when you stop complaining and start learning. Ask yourself after every failure, what did this teach me about myself? Because the goal isn't just to win, it's to become wiser, stronger, and more disciplined through every setback. The person who learns from failure becomes unstoppable, because once you no longer fear losing, nothing can hold you back. You start moving with calm confidence, knowing that even if things fall apart, you'll come back smarter. That's what real power feels like, not avoiding pain, but knowing how to rise after it. So, turn your failures into fuel, study your mistakes, adjust your strategy, keep moving forward. Every failure has a hidden gift, the strength you'll need for the next battle. When you can see that clearly, you'll stop fearing failure and start respecting it. Because every time you grow stronger from what once broke you, you're no longer just surviving, you're becoming who you were meant to be. Outline 6. Protect your time and energy like your most valuable money. Time is the most expensive currency you'll ever own, and once it's gone, it never comes back. You can lose money and earn it again, but once you waste time, it's gone forever. That's why the people who achieve the most aren't always the most talented. They're the most disciplined with their time. They understand that protecting their time and energy is the foundation of success. Every decision they make runs through this filter. Is this helping me grow or is this draining me? Because success is not just about how hard you work. It's also about what you choose to give your time to. You see, most people don't fail because they're lazy. They fail because they're distracted. They give their best hours to meaningless scrolling, endless conversations, or tasks that don't move their life forward. They let other people's priorities control their schedule. But if you ever want to live like a millionaire, you have to take back ownership of your hours. You have to stop saying yes to everything and start saying yes only to what matters. The truth is, focus is the new wealth. Every minute you spend should have a purpose. Every task should serve a vision. If you don't control your time, someone else will. If you don't protect your energy, people will drain it. There are those who will keep calling, asking, taking until you're left empty, and still, they'll ask for more. That's why you have to draw the line. Protect your mornings, protect your focus, protect your energy like it's your last dollar, because it is. It's the currency that buys your future. Millionaires live by discipline, not convenience. They structure their days around priorities, not emotions. They don't waste time arguing, gossiping, or proving themselves to people who don't matter. They know every distraction has a cost. Every minute wasted on something meaningless is a minute stolen from something meaningful. So they schedule their growth, not just their work. They make room for reading, thinking, building, not for noise, drama, or comparison. If you want your life to change, start treating your time with respect. Stop giving it away to things that don't serve you. If something or someone constantly drains your energy, you owe it to yourself to step back. Protecting your energy isn't selfish, it's smart, because when your energy is high, your performance improves. When your focus is strong, your progress multiplies. Your time and energy are not free. They are your investment into the life you want. Think of how many people spend their whole day reacting to messages, calls, notifications, problems that aren't even theirs. They start the day with good intentions, but end it feeling exhausted and empty. Not because they worked too hard, but because they gave their energy to the wrong things. You can't win if your energy is constantly scattered. You can't grow if your mind is always distracted. The only way to move forward is to cut out what doesn't help you become better. Protecting your time also means knowing what to say no to. You can't do everything. You can't please everyone. You can't be everywhere. You have to pick your battles. You have to choose your focus. Every yes you give to something unimportant is a no to your future. So before you agree to something, ask yourself, is this helping me get closer to who I want to become? If not, walk away. And don't forget, protecting your energy also means protecting your mindset. What you feed your mind shapes your thoughts. Spend too much time around negativity and you'll start thinking small. Spend too much time around people with no vision and you'll start losing your own. Surround yourself with energy that inspires you. Spend your time with people who challenge you to grow. That's how you stay sharp. The people who build wealth and freedom don't have more hours than you. They just use their hours differently. They plan their days the night before. They guard their mornings like gold. They set boundaries and stick to them. They know that every minute counts, and they understand that every distraction, no matter how small, steals momentum. So, protect your time and energy like your most valuable money, because they are every day you're spending them on something, somewhere, somehow. The question is, are you investing them wisely or are you wasting them carelessly? The answer will decide where you end up in 5 years. Your time is your fortune and your energy is your fuel. Treat them with respect and life will reward you with results few ever experience. Outline 7. Think long-term and act daily with purpose and discipline. Now, success is not built overnight. It's the result of small, deliberate actions taken consistently over time. Thinking long-term means looking beyond the immediate results and focusing on the life you want 5 or 20 years from now. It's about creating a vision so clear that every decision you make today is aligned with it. Acting daily with purpose and discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. Every day matters. Every choice counts. Small, consistent actions compound, and before you know it, what once seemed impossible becomes inevitable. Most people fail because they chase instant gratification. They want results now and quit when the progress is slow. But long-term thinkers understand that greatness is earned, not handed out. They focus on habits, not outcomes. They focus on systems, not quick wins. Discipline becomes their companion. Purpose becomes their fuel. Each day, they wake up with an understanding that their future is shaped by what they do today, not by luck or excuse. Daily discipline requires structure. It requires knowing what matters and cutting out what doesn't. It's easy to get caught in distractions, in social media, in other people's expectations. But the most successful people plan their day with intention. They set clear priorities. They decide what must be done and follow through without letting excuses creep in. Discipline is choosing what you want most over what you want now. Every time you resist a distraction and take purposeful action, you're investing in your long-term success. Purpose gives your actions meaning. Without it, even hard work feels empty. Long-term thinkers attach a reason to every effort. They wake up and know why they're working, learning, and pushing themselves. That sense of purpose turns mundane tasks into stepping stones for future success. It keeps you going when results are invisible, when nobody notices, when the world doubts you. Purpose reminds you that your discipline today is shaping a life that most people can only dream about. Consistency is the secret weapon of long-term success. It's not about doing one heroic act. It's about doing the right things every day, even when you don't feel like it. So, it's brushing your teeth, reading, learning, saving, exercising, showing up. Every small act compounds over time. It builds resilience, skill, and momentum. Those who think long-term understand that a year of focused effort will yield results far greater than a decade of scattered attempts. Patience is required because long-term results often take time. You won't see the fruits of your labor immediately, but that doesn't mean your efforts are wasted. Every disciplined action adds up. Every day you work with purpose brings you closer to the life you're building. The key is trusting that the process works if you do. Trust that each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Trust that discipline and purpose will create opportunities that instant gratification can never deliver. Avoid shortcuts that compromise your long-term vision. Quick fixes may feel satisfying today, but often harm your future. Don't settle for less than what you're capable of. Don't imitate the average. Long-term thinkers play a different game. They prioritize their health, relationships, knowledge, and financial decisions with the future in mind. They understand that the choices they make daily either move them closer to their vision or push them further away. Discipline is saying no to temporary pleasure for lasting impact. Reflection is part of long-term thinking. Every week, month, and year, you must assess your actions. Are they aligned with your vision? Are they producing progress, learning, or growth? Adjust where necessary, but never abandon the long-term mindset. Mistakes will happen, obstacles will appear, but the disciplined person sees these as opportunities to learn rather than reasons to quit. Staying committed to purpose and discipline builds character and strengthens your capacity for success. Energy management is a long-term thinkers guard their physical, mental, and emotional energy because they understand it fuels consistent action. They avoid draining activities and people who consume without giving back. They prioritize sleep, focus, and clarity to to ensure that every day they can act at their best. Without energy, purpose, and discipline cannot be sustained. Protecting yourself becomes an investment in your long-term results. Every action, decision, and habit matters when you think long-term. Every day is a chance to build momentum, skill, and strength. Purpose fuels your actions, discipline drives your consistency, and patience ensures you stay on course. Think long-term and act daily with intention, and you will achieve results that far surpass the average. The life you dream of is created not by luck, but by the focused, disciplined, purposeful actions you take each day. Remember, success doesn't wait, and neither should you. Keep showing up, keep working hard, and stay consistent no matter what. Your effort today will become your results tomorrow. Don't quit, don't make excuses, and let your actions speak louder than words.